Okay, y'all. I am here. Boop. Oh, my phone fell. I didn't even notice. Hello, where is my logo? Where is my logo, guys? Guys, it's evident that my logo is not here. Give me a sec. Are? How can I do? Oh, thank you for checking in, Cynthia. Actually, yeah, thank you for being number 1, Cynthia, and thank you for being number 2, Rad Panda. They're still 3rd here for anyone who wants to. Sorry, my phone was falling. For anyone who. Emil, talk 3rd. Let's go. Congratulations, you are now 3rd. Hello, Rad Panda. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My phone keeps falling off. The fucking. The fucking, yeah. Okay, there's my logo. Wha-bam! Hello, my name is Tamashi, and all I gotta say is TamaTalks. Yes, that is my catchphrase. Do not ask. I'm a grumpy Latina VTuber who lives in Japan, and I'm a political commentator and someone who loves to stream games. I stream 4 times a week now, twice on twice. What? I do political commentary twice and fun games the other 2 days, okay? And today, y'all, today is going to be actually a pretty short stream. And I say this because I haven't been sleeping much. And I feel like I kind of need to relax a bit and probably end stream earlier than usual. I don't think I will though, because every time I say I'm gonna end stream early, I never fucking do. But if I do, I told you so, okay? Stay tuned to the end of the stream, however, for a special announcement specifically for the Saturday stream this week, okay? But for now, let's get into TamaTalks, where I talk about issues that matter to me and should matter to you. I mean, I think this past week and last week, I believe, we started talking about how the war on Iran, and technically Israel's war crimes, including the US, has been affecting everyone. And people like me have been basically these past 3 years now, 4 years, we've been trying to tell everyone how if you don't care about it now, you're gonna be forced to care about it, right? And if it doesn't hurt you, it's gonna hurt someone you love or someone you know, and it's gonna get too close to home. Especially when it comes to Palestine. Palestine has officially just become a catastrophe. Worse, in my opinion, and honestly, I'm pretty sure at this point it's worse than the Holocaust. Therefore, people have no excuse at this point to, be ignoring stuff. Recently, a VTuber by the name of Celia, right? Here, I forgot. Here, let me make sure. I keep saying Cecilia, but I think that's because I'm just Mexican, That's like a common Spanish name. So I just go for it. I just go Cecilia, but I'm pretty sure that's not her name. I'm pretty sure it's not even Celia. It's not even popping out of my... Jesus Christ. Already starting off at a rough start, chat. Already at a rough start here. I know I have it in my notes. Sorry. I used to be someone who was very into VTubers, and now I'm just basically a boomer, man. My bad, y'all. My bad. Here, give me a sec. Camila! I was about to say Camellia. What is wrong with me? Cecilia, Camellia. No wonder I keep fucking it up. My bad, y'all. Camila. Okay. That was rude of me. I deeply apologize. A VTuber by the name of Camila lost family who lived in Lebanon during the 100 bombs within 10 minutes campaign that Israel did on Lebanon in Beirut, I believe. And a lot of people are just kind of like, were surprised and started talking about it. Now, it seems that people have kind of just gone back to doing things normally, like in terms of the VTuber community, right? I haven't seen other VTubers talk about it anymore. It seems like they just use a tragedy to do like a popular quote retweet, but I feel like not many people are encouraging people to care more. And that's dangerous to me, because are we gonna wait till another VTuber gets hurt? Why did it take someone to get hurt for people to talk about it? And even then, the VTuber community isn't talking about it enough, in my opinion. And so, one thing that I noticed, you know, as someone who doesn't know much about the Middle East, and you guys might think I do know a lot about the Middle East, but I fucking don't, okay? I'm learning as I go, and whatever I learn, I try to teach you guys, right? And then give you my opinion on it. But one thing that I noticed about Lebanon when it comes to Israel is that they keep saying Hezbollah, Hezbollah, Hezbollah. Well, who the fuck is Hezbollah, bruh? And why is everything their fault? You know, Israel keeps violating the ceasefire that Iran is trying to do with the US, right? You know, especially after Trump apparently was pretending he was a psychopath and threatened that he was going to drop a nuclear bomb on Iran. Hours later, there was a supposed ceasefire, and hours later of the ceasefire, Israel drops 100 bombs within 10 minutes, carpet bombs Beirut, and ends up killing many people, innocent people, mostly civilians, including Camila's family. So I feel like, you know, I've done my best to talk about Palestine, now Iran, sorry, I keep like changing the pronunciations of that. And I feel like I haven't spoken about Lebanon because I don't know shit. Now I've been looking at history a bit, and I learned something new, chat. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I learned something new that surprised me and made me realize, fucking hell, this is how long I've been ignorant on this fucking issue. And I know I'm like still technically young, and I know you guys, probably my chatters are probably younger than me or slightly older than me. But still, everything is connected, chatta. Same goes with Latin America. You know, all the bad shit that's happening there, everything's connected to the US or Israel. Middle East, even worse. Even worse. And yeah, it's evident. It's very evident. Like my background music is saying. But before we get into that, I'm gonna read, well, first I'm gonna read an article trying to explain what's going on in Lebanon with no context for us. It gives you a little bit of context, but I feel like this article is very important. It's by the Middle East Eye, and it's basically describing why Lebanon's military can't fight against anyone that's attacking them. Okay, that's the basis of it. But let me say hi to chat. I don't know if I did that already. My bad, y'all. Hello Cynthia, thank you for being first. Hello Rat Panda, thank you for being second. And hello Emil, thank you for being third. Thank you everyone for joining. Camila, I think. Thank you, Emil. I should have just fucking read chat. My bad, y'all. Thank you, Ali, also for checking in. and Careless as well just now. Wow, that was really good fucking timing. Hello. You did say hi. Okay, I just have dementia. That's how you know I'm fucking tired, chat. Oh god, I have not been sleeping lately. So I gotta try to learn how to do that again. I have random moments when I can't sleep. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this article out, shall we, chat? Let me remove my logo. Whoop, whoop. And let me show you guys the article. I'll try to read it as quick as possible, but I hope you guys can have like a good enough attention span when I read this. It's a really good read, and if you're not gonna read it, at least hear me read it to you. Okay, y'all? Let me make this smaller though. And oh my god, this is a long title. Can you guys even see that? Here, let me zoom in. Not on me! On the article, man. Jesus Christ. Okay. This is an article by the Middle East Eye. It's an opinion article by Hala Jaber or Jaber. I'm gonna say Jaber. This is from last year. Actually, not even last year. A couple months ago. December 11th on 2025. And it's called Why Lebanon's Army Cannot Defend the Nation After a Year of Ceasefire. Okay. The army is structurally incapable of protecting the civilians it is sworn to defend because powerful states have deliberately weakened it over the decades. Now, this person claims that Lebanon is put under unfair circumstances that makes it impossible for them to defend themselves or do anything militarily. And I'm sure a lot of people might disagree with that and stuff. But I thought it was a really good read. You know why I thought it was a really good read? Because it criticizes the US and Israel. Okay? And so I feel like that's very important. That's something that you guys should value when you consume like media that has information, right? This is really hard to read. Can you guys even see that? If it criticizes Israel and the US, you can at least guarantee there's a hint of truth in there, even more than news sources that randomly decide to, well, not randomly, but decide to be centrist in the middle ground, and or basically like making fucking lies about a certain country and assumptions about a certain country to criticize a country for defending themselves. And so let me read this article, okay? I wonder if I can zoom in more, if that's better for y'all. Oh my god. Okay, that that is too much, y'all. My bad. I think this one was better. This one is better. There we go. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? It says, just hours after Lebanon and Israel sat across from each other. Can y'all hear me? In Nakora last week, holding their first direct talk since 1983, Israel jets returned to the skies and struck down across southern Lebanon. Okay, that's not surprising. Jaber. Thank you, Ali. Thank you for helping me on that. I want to pronounce as good as possible. I honestly, chat, I might try to learn Arabic. Fucking hell. I can't even pronounce that. Someday. I feel like a lot of people need more representation in that, so there's a huge list of languages I want to learn someday. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Okay, let me do my best here. In Marona Jabba, Al-Majadel, and Barashit, residential buildings were flattened into ash. Ash? Families fled with seconds to spare. Fires devoured homes that had stood for generations. There was no secondary explosions, no weapon depots, no fighters, only civilians once again bombed under the same tired pretext of Hezbollah infrastructure. Does that sound familiar to y'all, chat? Because that sounds familiar to fucking me. And if you need like more context on that, just think of Palestine. Look what they did to Palestine. Okay? They've literally destroyed the country, okay? It's flattened it, basically. There's still people there trying to fucking survive, and they destroyed it. Why? Because of Hamas. Apparently, there was a Hamas tunnel in a child's tent, okay? That's why they bombed the kid to death. Or in the hospital. Apparently, there's like tunnels in the hospital where Hamas is, and so they bomb the hospitals. Libraries, schools, you know, any civilian place. They keep using the excuse that Hamas is there. And just like that, they're doing the same thing to Lebanon. They blame everything on Hezbollah. Can you speak Spanish? Yes, I can speak Spanish. But because I was born in the US, so the only people I speak Spanish to is my parents. I'm one of the rare cases where I'm a Mexican American that can actually speak Spanish, but because I have no family other than like my parents, and I don't even talk to them because of other issues. Like sometimes my Spanish is definitely not perfect or sounds weird sometimes, but I can definitely speak it way better than most people. Anyway, back to this thing. It was a reminder, if anyone still needed one, that Israel's definition of ceasefire is unilateral. It fires when it wishes, violates when it pleases, and suffers no consequences. That's fucking intense, because everyone in the world can see that now, literally. But back then, even many years before October 7th, people refused to believe stuff like that. Literally. When it came to Israel, no one believes that. And it turns out that this is a very common pattern. It really is. And right now, people are watching it live, how Israel is like just super confident and just picking fights with a shit ton of countries within its area. Literally. They were doing it back then, and they are still doing it even now. That's right, Cynthia. That's right. And it suffers, like it says here, it suffers no fucking consequences, bro. And the Lebanese army, whose checkpoint sat minutes away, are you kidding me? That's crazy, could do nothing. This is not because its soldiers lack courage. They have patrolled the south under constant lethal threat for a year. They have evacuated families while drones circled overhead. They have buried comrades killed in uniform. They were close enough to Marona and Jabba to hear the jets and feel the shock waves. But they had nothing to answer with. No air defense systems, no interceptor missiles, no radars capable of tracking an F-35. The army is structurally incapable of protecting the civilians it is sworn to defend because for decades, powerful states have ensured it remains incapable. Repeated violations. I wonder by who? I wonder by whom? Let's read more. A year ago, I wrote a detailed analysis explaining why the Lebanese armed forces could not defend the country, not for a lack of bravery or unity, but because they were systematically denied the tools of national defense. Today, every point has been proven true, brutally and repeatedly. Since the ceasefire began on the 27th of November 2024, Israel has carried out more than 10,000 violations of Lebanese sovereignty. 10,000, chat, including more than 7,500 air violations and 2,500 ground violations, alongside repeated naval breaches, assassinations, and systematic destruction. Jesus fucking Christ. 10,000, chat. At least 41 Lebanese soldiers were killed in uniform during the period from October 2023 to November 2024. 7 Lebanese border points remain occupied. In Yarun alone, more than 4,000 square meters of land has been walled off in recent months. Everyone demands that the army protect the country, but no army can do so when its radars cannot see the aircraft violating its skies. UNIFIL, which has monitored the ceasefire line for decades, confirms that Israel's actions violate Resolution 1701, the primary legal framework for maintaining a 2006 ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. Israel simply ignores it. Okay, so they just pretend like, of course, like always, they pretend that nothing applies to them. They can kill whenever they want. But if someone like fights back, then that's the problem, chat. That's a problem. Damn, says Careless. It's true. It is damn. Like, what? Okay. I mean, but if we think about it, I wonder how many times they've violated Palestinian, rights, lives. Fucking, they've done worse. And that's because Palestine literally has no weapons, bro. Nothing. They don't even have, they couldn't even make shelters. Bomb shelters for its people, even though they're used to Israel bombing them. You know why? It's not because they're fucking stupid, but it's because Israel controls every little thing that goes in and out of Palestine. Even food, even water. Even before October 7th, they would do that shit. And they would make sure that they wouldn't be able to make anything that would be able to protect them from their violence. Now they do it completely. Now they just don't fucking send food, water, or anything else. Machinery to be able to help people look for their dead ones under the rubble or possibly rescue them from the bombs. So yeah, Palestine has been destroyed terribly to an extensive level, but because Israel was allowed to control it, even the amount of fucking salt that could go in there was controlled, especially water. That fucking surprises me that even water was controlled. Who controls water? It's sorry, you can only have 1 liter a week or something like that. I don't even know. I'm exaggerating there, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, Israel keeps ignoring the rules and human rights and basic, humanity. And the Lebanese army cannot stop any of this. Not because it refuses to, but because Lebanon is not allowed to possess the means. Okay, did you just hear what I just said? Palestine could not possess construction material to make bomb shelters. Palestine cannot even have weapons, right? If there's weapons in Palestine, it's because it was smuggled there. Barely, somehow. Okay? So, apparently it's the same with Lebanon when it comes to weapons. It's right there. They did the same thing to Lebanon. Laws don't apply to them, apparently. You're right, Emil, you're right. The Lebanese army is not weak. It has been deliberately weakened. Everyone demands that the army protect the country, but no army can do so when its radars cannot see the aircraft violating its skies. Its helicopters are outdated and grounded for lack of parts. It has no air defense systems, and its soldiers patrol under hostile drones 24/7, with no ability to bring them down. Since 2006, the US has provided more than $3 billion, is that billion, chat? BN, billion? Oh my god. To the Lebanese army. But only for light weapons. Humvees, rifles, night vision gear, and aircraft maintenance. It's been enough to prevent collapse, never enough to defend Lebanon. Is BN billion? Here, I'm gonna click that. Yep, it's billion right there. It is billion. Oh, sorry, you can't see. 3 billion. And this is from the US Department of State, so it checks out. But yeah, they could only get like shitty light weapons, but not anything enough for it to defend itself. Now let's see here. Lebanon's defense budget up to 2024 came in at 768 million. Most of it compromising salaries crushed by economic collapse. Israel's defense budget was $36.9 billion. The Lebanese army ranks 115th globally in military power, while Israel ranks 15th. Jesus fucking Christ. A country with no effective air force and no air defense systems cannot defend its skies. This is not misfortune. It is policy. The Taif Agreement of 1989, heavily shaped by US influence, placed ceilings on Lebanese military capabilities to preserve Israel's qualitative military edge. When Russia offered free MiG-29 warplanes in 2008, the US blocked the deal. When Iran offered air defense systems in 2010 and 2019, Lebanon declined under US threat. The Lebanese Air Force flies 6 A-29 Super Tucanos, useful for surveillance, useless against an F-35. Lebanon does not inherently lack a national army. It is denied one. Okay. Israeli officials say this openly, with Education Minister Yoav Kish declaring in a televised interview, "There is no difference between Hezbollah and Lebanon. Lebanon will be annihilated. It will cease to exist." Oh, well, that's not surprising that they're just like, okay, so chat, if someone kills your family, kills your extended family, kills your friends, kills everyone in your neighborhood, and you join a group of people who are pissed off and decide to take matters into their own hands and actually get the weapons that even the Lebanese army doesn't even have themselves, right? You somehow get these weapons that your own military doesn't have, and then you go fight these people who killed your family and everyone you fucking know. And then there's still other civilians that decide not to do that, but still suffer. Do you think it's fair for a education minister from Israel to be like, hey, you're the same as Hezbollah, and we will kill you all? We will just delete Lebanon from the map. It will cease to fucking exist. That's that sounds familiar, I think. That sounds familiar. It's like when it comes to Palestine, they say that the kids are raised as terrorists and raised to be Hamas fighters, right? And that's why they must snipe children in the head and kill everyone in Palestine. Bro, they have been doing this for years. This is their thing, okay? This is their thing. If this is the threat, then denying Lebanon the means to defend itself is not passive. It is part of the strategy. In this vacuum, Hezbollah emerged, created in response to Israel's 1982 invasion. Hezbollah evolved into a non-state military force larger than many national armies. It is polarizing, politically heavy, and embedded in Lebanon's complex sectarian system. But no serious analyst can claim that the Lebanese state would still hold territory south of the Litani River without Hezbollah. That is the uncomfortable truth that every Western envoy avoids. Washington continues to demand that the Lebanese army disarm Hezbollah. Yet, U.S. envoy Tom Barak has admitted openly that Israel cannot achieve its goals by crushing Hezbollah militarily, adding that it is doubtful the Lebanese army will disarm Hezbollah. In other words, Washington knows the demand is impossible, but continues to push it. Even a fully equipped army cannot be ordered by a foreign state to wage war on its own people. And Washington offers Lebanon zero guarantees. If Hezbollah disarmed tomorrow, would Israel stop violating Lebanese airspace, occupying Lebanese land, bombing Lebanese towns, and assassinating Lebanese civilians and soldiers? There are no fucking guarantees. Not one. Crazy, chat. That is crazy. This is why you can't even believe the US when they go, hey, you have to stop, you have to disarm this group that we consider terrorists. When they can't even stop Israel from killing their civilians. When they can't even allow Lebanon to have the appropriate weapons to defend themselves. What do you expect? How else are these poor people supposed to help themselves and defend themselves? Hezbollah's position, whether one agrees or disagrees, is logically consistent. When Israel withdraws, violations stop, and the army is capable of defending Lebanon. It is ready for a national dialogue about its weapons. Washington demands the opposite: disarm first, suffer later. That is not sovereignty, it is collapse. Removing the mask. Last week, Israel's Channel 14 reported that U.S. envoy Morgan Ortagus, who co-chaired the Nakura meeting, urged Israel in February to bomb Hezbollah's leader Hassan Nasrallah's funeral at Beirut's Sports City Stadium. Hundreds of thousands of civilians were present. What the fuck? Literally? That's fucking what? And it's from US, it's an American who said that in Israel's news reporting. What? He's like, yeah, just bomb the fucking stadium, dude. Israel considered the strike. Jets were already in the fucking sky. The only reason it didn't happen was Israel's own calculation, not US restraint. A US envoy reportedly advocated a mass casualty attack in Lebanon's capital, then sat at the negotiating table as a neutral mediator. What? That same guy? That same guy was a mediator. Okay, well, that is not correct. He's an instigator. Why is he the mediator? What the fuck? What incarnation? This is the environment in which the Lebanese army is expected to restore sovereignty. Quotation marks. Sarcastic, by the way. This is sarcastic quotation marks. Okay. Yeah, he's like, hey, kill them all, bomb them, yay! Okay, let's talk, guys. What? It's evident that he's an instigator. Last summer, UNIFIL stated clearly the LAF are attempting to fulfill their obligation under the ceasefire understandings. In August, the UN announced that UNIFIL's mandate would end in 2026. Israel celebrated. With UNIFIL gone, fewer witnesses would remain. Oh my God. Meanwhile, Israeli intelligence tells the US that Hezbollah is too strong, that the Lebanese army cannot confront it, and that we are heading towards escalation and we will decide when. Okay, well, obviously they're deciding now that we're seeing everything going on, chat. The next war is already scripted, and still the Lebanese army stands its ground, with 200 posts south of the Litani, 29 fixed checkpoints, and round-the-clock patrols. It has seized 566 rocket launchers, neutralized 177 tunnels, and closed 11 crossings. It has done everything asked of it. What it cannot do is what it was never allowed to do: defend Lebanon against Israel. Lebanon is trapped between a set of impossible demands. Disarm its only deterrent, but expect protection. Rely on the army, but deny it weapons. Trust diplomacy, but accept bombs the next fucking morning. Believe in mediation, while mediators propose mass casualty fucking strikes. Fuck Israel, man. What the hell? This is so... The hypocrisy is insane. What can Lebanon fucking do, man? And the US keeps blaming them and then allowing Israel to attack them. So let this be said plainly. Do not blame the Lebanese soldier who has no missiles for the skies he cannot defend. Blame the governments, both foreign and domestic, that ensured the army would never have them. Until the Lebanese army is allowed to defend Lebanon, for many Lebanese people, Hezbollah will remain the last line of defense. Not because Lebanon chose this structure, but because it was engineered into it. And until the world stops treating Lebanese lives as disposable pieces on a geopolitical chessboard, Lebanon will continue to bury its dead under skies it cannot control. And these are the author's notes. That's a very, as you can see, chat, this is a very powerful opinion article by this person. And when I read this, I was like, wow, that's insane. That's fucking insane, man. So much education already there within this like, what was it, like 15-minute read, 10-minute read? Just then and there, this person was able to let us see more clearly the issue and the hypocrisy of the United States of Israel. So, one thing mentioned in this article was Israel complaining about how powerful Hezbollah is. Right? And the reason why Israel is complaining about that, by the way, is because in 2006, they lost a war against Hezbollah. And no one predicted that. They lost. They thought they were gonna win. They really fucking thought they were gonna win because, again, these fucking self-made armies with the assistance of other foreign powers that support them, right? That help smuggle these weapons to them so they can defend themselves against Israel. Fucking won against a superpower army that the US like just fucking throws millions, billions, gajillions of dollars into their weapons, while, you know, Lebanon and Iran and Palestine have shit weapons. And these small group of people are able to defend themselves. and they won against Israel. And then Israel bitches and cries, and they're like, oh my god, they're too powerful, they're terrorists. I'm like, bro, then get out. Stop trying to colonize them all the fucking goddamn time. And so we're going to watch a video by Al Jazeera, correct? Nope, my bad. The Middle East Eye, on why Israel lost the 2006 Lebanon war and the beginning of the Dahieh Doctrine. And chat, I want you here. Let me zoom in a bit. Let me, not on me, goddammit, on the video. This right here, the Dahieh Doctrine, is something very important that I didn't even know what it was. Once I knew what it fucking was and what it would lead to, I was fucking in shock, okay? So this is very important, the Dahieh Doctrine, and you'll see why in a bit, okay? Let me turn off my música. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Yosha, turn off the music. And let's see. Tell me if you guys can hear this. Like using a cursed weapon when there's no other choice but to do so. Yep, exactly. This is ridiculous. That's what I'm saying, y'all. That's what I'm fucking saying. So let's look at this. Aha! It's not working. I see. Here, let's try this again. Oh my god, Tama. Why can't I hold it? There we go. Okay, let's try this again. You guys can't hear it. I see that you guys can't hear it. Oh my god. It's been a while since OBS has done this to me. It's been a while since OBS has done this to me, chat. Let's try this again. Please work. Chat, please work. Let's go. Okay, let's go. It works now. Okay. I was about to crash out, chat.
It's been 20 years since Israel last fought a war in Lebanon. A war that it lost. Not by its own admission, but the impact of it would haunt Israel and Israel's military for years.
Because we have created a deterrence in the war in Lebanon. They can shoot anytime they want.
It would shatter its image of a military superpower in the region, and it would signal to its rivals that it wasn't invincible, that it could be defeated. But this loss had nothing to do with military might or tactical advantage. It came down to a brutal, but ultimately failed military strategy it called the Dahieh Doctrine. In short, Israeli generals believed that if they inflicted enough damage to Lebanon's civilian population, that ordinary people would rise up and overthrow Hezbollah. But
doesn't that sound fucking familiar? That if they bomb civilians and civilian infrastructure, somehow the civilians will be inspired to go against their own government, you know, instead of the government that is bombing them, right? Right? This is literally the same propaganda that they use for Iran and Palestine and everywhere else, okay? And that tactic is called the Dahieh Doctrine, chat. That specific tactic is called the Dahieh Doctrine, and this guy's going to explain why, okay?
That simply didn't work. So let's talk about what did happen in 2006 and why Israel just hasn't learned from its past mistakes. My name is Muhammad Hassan, and this is The Big Picture.
The big picture. Middle East Eye, chat, by the way. And the name of this border, the Lebanese-Palestinian border. And as far as we're concerned, there will never come a day when we will acknowledge or accept the Lebanese-Israeli border. That's
Hezbollah
crazy.
came into
Bars.
existence specifically to fight Israel.
Bars
the group was
shut.
formed in 1985 in the midst of Lebanon's bitter civil war, just 3 years after Israel had invaded and occupied South Lebanon. Its members were young Shia fighters from working-class neighborhoods inspired by the anti-imperialist revolution that had just taken place in Iran years earlier, which brought Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini to power, vowing to take on America and its proxy allies in the region. Hezbollah focused its fight on the Israeli presence in South Lebanon and Israel's ally, the Lebanese Christian South Lebanon Army. Its guerrilla tactics would continue until 2000, when Israel's army was forced to withdraw under pressure from the international community, who was outraged by its military tactics in the south.
Wow.
By now, Lebanon was in ruins, with little means of protecting itself from the outside and little power to control the armed groups that had emerged within it. Hezbollah had become one of the most powerful political and military forces in Lebanon, and its charismatic leader, Hassan Nasrallah, claimed victory over Israel after 18 years of occupation and vowed to continue fighting.
This victory we offer as a gift to our downtrodden people in occupied Palestine. This Israeli state that commands its nuclear arsenal and the most powerful air force in the region, I swear by God, it is weaker than a spider's
But
web.
despite Israel's withdrawal,
Bro keeps dropping
tensions
bars.
along the border continued for years. Israel also retained control of key farmland in the south, something that Hezbollah really wanted back. Nasrallah himself was under tremendous pressure inside Lebanon, especially after the assassination of Lebanese Prime Minister Rafiq al-Hariri in 2005. Many people pointed their fingers at Nasrallah, but Nasrallah blamed Israel. Then in 2006, Hezbollah launched what was meant to be a small contained operation into Israel's northern border, an operation he called Truthful Promise. On the 12th of July, a group of Hezbollah fighters snuck through the border fence and attacked an Israeli military patrol, killing 3 soldiers and capturing 2. The idea was to use these soldiers as bargaining chips for the release of 4 Lebanese men held in Israeli prisons. But it didn't work out like that. Israel immediately sent in a tank after the soldiers, but that tank was blown up by a landmine, killing another 4 soldiers. And so, in response, Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert declares an all-out war.
Wow. Wait, I wonder if that tank went there to, like, kill everyone. Like, because Israel has done that before, chat, where, you know, for example, I know many situations where Hamas, you know, still had those people that they kidnapped from October 7th. Because they did do that, chat. Hamas did kidnap soldiers from October 7th. And Israel, instead of like trying to save these soldiers, would purposely bomb the facilities where these people were fucking held. And they would kill their own people. So I wonder if that tank was actually going over there to save those captured Israeli soldiers. They tend to betray their own kind. So it's like, yeah, got kidnapped from a tank. It's crazy. Not even the tank got destroyed, bruh. And so then Israel's like, yes, finally, this is our chance to just declare a whole ass war on the southern part of Lebanon. And this was again during 2006. You can already see the mass destruction on civilian population. Jesus Christ.
Israel is determined to carry on the fight against Hezbollah. We'll reach out for them, we'll stop them, and we will not hesitate to take the most severe measures against those who are aiming thousands of rockets and missiles against innocent civilians for one purpose: to kill them.
Backed by the United States, Israel launched an air, land, and sea invasion of Lebanon. In the first few days, its air force bombed and destroyed Beirut's airport, took out dozens of bridges, thousands of roads, as well as hospitals, schools, power stations, and residential buildings.
Wow.
Its navy fired on Lebanese towns and cities, and its tanks and soldiers entered the south once again. Hezbollah responded by firing rockets into Israeli cities, most of them indiscriminate and untargeted. On the ground, however, its fighters had a big advantage. They were well trained, they were armed with anti-tank missiles and night vision goggles, and they used tunnels to navigate a battlefield they understood very well. Frustrated by their inability to fight effectively on the ground, Israeli generals resorted to a campaign of psychological warfare. They dropped thousands of leaflets on Lebanese neighborhoods, telling people that Nasrallah and Hezbollah were just using them as puppets to serve the interests of Syria and Iran. Lebanese TV channels were hacked to broadcast images of dead Hezbollah fighters and Israeli raids. Residents received computerized messages on their phones warning them to evacuate, and then their buildings and homes are bombed. Cluster bombs and white phosphorus are fired into civilian neighborhoods in violation of international law. On the 30th of July, Israeli airstrikes leveled a 3-story residential block in the village of Qana, killing 28 people, half of whom were children. The army claimed that it was
half of them were children. And then right now I stopped him mid-sentence. The Israel army claimed, whoa, I wonder what they were claiming. To justify killing children. Okay, let's see. I wonder what. Oh, maybe Hezbollah was there? I wonder if they're gonna mention tunnels, because that's the common thing, is the tunnel thing. Let's see.
Responding to a Hezbollah rocket site, but to this day there's never been any evidence to prove that that site had any significant strategic meaning for Israel.
I called it. Oh, okay. So again, this is the Israeli Prime Minister. We just saw him talking a little bit before this. He was making himself and Israel the victim, claiming that Hezbollah was attacking them with thousands of rockets for no fucking reason, by the way. No reason, apparently. This was the guy saying that shit earlier. Don't be careful, because they're really good at making themselves look like the victim. Let's see what he says
strategic
now.
Meaning for Israel.
You, the people of Lebanon, those who are angry at us and our army because of the extensive damage this war has caused you. The war you did not want and that most of you do not have part of. You know very well that your enemy is not the state of Israel, but Sheikh Nasrallah and his gang that are willing to sacrifice many of your lives in order to serve the interests of a foreign country.
But there was something else going on behind Israel's public statements. A retired Israeli colonel at the time told the Washington Post, Israel is attempting to create a rift between the Lebanese population and Hezbollah supporters by exacting a heavy price from the elite in Beirut. The strategy was large-scale destruction as a way to pressure the Lebanese people to reject the message of Hezbollah. It would become known as the Dahiya Doctrine, named after the Beirut neighborhood where Hezbollah's headquarters were located.
So, Dahiya is a neighborhood in Lebanon, chat. It's a neighborhood in Lebanon. And so Israel was like, hey, let's bomb them like no matter what, with a shit ton of civilians, just kill everyone to apply more pressure to the military, or to Hezbollah, specifically Hezbollah, and the civilians to hate Hezbollah. Because Hezbollah lives in this neighborhood, or was suspected, by the way, was suspected to live in this neighborhood by bombing the shit out of them and calling this a Dahiya Doctrine. Somehow, Hezbollah will become the bad guy. Not Israel, but Hezbollah. Does that make sense? Does that? Well, for Israel, it makes sense.
Dahiya was completely leveled by Israeli bombing, and large craters could still be seen years later. This would become a blueprint for how Israel treated every conflict from this point on. They used it in Gaza in 2008, 2014, 2021, and we're seeing it in action today.
Well,
An Israeli
motherfuckers take
defense
selfies. That's
analyst would
crazy.
later describe this new way of thinking. Israel, again, will not be able to limit its response to actions whose severity is seemingly proportionate to an isolated incident. Rather, it will have to respond disproportionately in order to make it abundantly clear that
So, literally, the Dahya Doctrine was the blueprint, as he said, for Israel's basically foreign policy on everyone else that they want to colonize and or see as an enemy. It fucking started in Lebanon. And then they applied that same mentality and tactics to Palestine, which is why Palestine is the way that it is right now. For me, I didn't even know about the Dahya Doctrine. I didn't even know that it started in Lebanon. And now I'm realizing that Lebanon has been suffering for quite a while. Suffering because of Israel yet again. It's all connected, chat. Everything is fucking connected.
the state of Israel would accept no attempt to disrupt the calm currently prevailing along its borders. And indiscriminate attacks became its modus operandi. An Israeli general told reporters where to attack. Once inside Lebanon, everything is legitimate. Not just southern Lebanon, not just the line of Hezbollah posts.
That is insane.
This strategy was a disaster for Israel's public image abroad and undermined its argument that it was pursuing Hezbollah as its main target. But despite Lebanon's repeated pleas with the international community to force both sides into a ceasefire, the United States was blocking it on Israel's behalf.
Of course they were.
Former UN Ambassador John Bolton said that the US government wanted to give Israel as much time to take out Hezbollah's military capabilities as possible. But after a while, the US became disappointed by its failure to do so. Only then
of course,
did
they
the
suck.
US step in, and on the 11th of August, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 1701, calling for a ceasefire, Israel's withdrawal, and the disarming of armed Lebanese groups operating south of the Litani River. During the 34 days of fighting, more than 1,000 Lebanese civilians have been killed, as well as 44 Israeli citizens, 120 Israeli soldiers, and more than 250 Hezbollah fighters. Both Israel and Hezbollah claimed victory, but who actually won? An internal Israeli commission slammed Prime Minister Olmert's decision to invade Lebanon, concluding that he had no clear plan for what he wanted to achieve and how he would do it. The Winograd Commission also found that despite the overwhelming force Israel used and the superior military that it had at its disposal, that a small paramilitary force was able to not only hold them off, but drag them into a ground battle they ultimately lost. Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah also said he regretted carrying out the operation that sparked the war, saying he was surprised by Israel's response.
If you ask me today, that on 11th of July, I knew there was even 1% chance that the hostage operation would lead to a war like the one we had, will I still go ahead with the operation? I will tell you, no, absolutely not.
Peacekeeping forces were deployed to southern Lebanon, but Hezbollah refused to disarm. In fact, its arsenal has only grown since 2006. It remained the strongest force in the country, wielding both military and political power in Lebanon's fragile state. The Lebanese army, unable to assert its dominance in South Lebanon and fearful of stoking sectarian divisions, couldn't pressure Nasrallah to dismantle his growing militia. Hezbollah were initially praised as heroes across the region for their fight against Israel, but that reputation would sour after the Arab Spring, when Hezbollah fighters were sent into Syria to help Bashar al-Assad quell a popular uprising. Israel continued to call on Resolution 1701 to be fully implemented, for Hezbollah to disarm completely, but they themselves have been accused of violating Lebanese airspace thousands
Oh,
of
really?
times. So when the
Violating
war in
ceasefires?
Gaza erupted
Huh.
after the events of October 7, Israeli generals immediately implemented the Dahiya Doctrine. Its planes devastated the civilian population in Gaza as a way to deplete Palestinian morale, to destroy their infrastructure, and importantly, to make sure its soldiers never got caught off guard on the ground. But has that strategy worked? In Gaza, Hamas fighters mimicked the tactics Hezbollah had used in 2006, including tunnel warfare and anti-tank missiles. 12 months on, Israel's own generals admit that their stated aim of destroying Hamas is an impossible goal, with fighting in northern parts of Gaza persisting despite the death of more than 41,000 Palestinians.
Hamas is an idea. Hamas is a party, and it is implanted in people's hearts. Whoever thinks that we can demolish Hamas is wrong.
Fighting along the border with Lebanon also reignited with Hezbollah, launching rockets in solidarity with Gaza, forcing Israel to evacuate its northern towns once again. Then in September, Israel took the fight back into Lebanon, with a week-long campaign of airstrikes that has so far killed close to 2,000 people, and an air, sea, and land blockade imposed on the whole country.
I'm not just worried about the start of a big war. I am worried about the end of Lebanon itself. This was supposed to be a safe zone. There are no fighters here. It's just families. There's women and little children here. They're criminals. They're not fighting other people carrying guns. They're killing civilians. If the Israelis invade again, they'll be digging their own graves. If they invade this time, they won't get out alive.
Took place in the same neighborhood where all of this began, Dahiya.
In Dahiya, yeah.
On the 27th of September, more than 80 bombs were dropped on a single block of residential apartments in the densely populated suburb near the Hezbollah headquarters. Hezbollah's senior command, including Hassan Nasrallah himself, were killed in the attack, and Israel celebrated this as a victory.
Citizens of Israel, these are great days. What appears to be a historic, a historic turning
For one
point.
thing, Hezbollah maintains that its military capabilities are still intact and that it's ready to face off another ground invasion.
The Islamic resistance will continue to confront the Israeli armed enemy in support of Gaza and Palestine, in defense of Lebanon and its people, and in response to the assassinations and killing of
And
civilians.
Lebanon, with nearly a sixth of its population displaced and facing continued aerial bombardment, is still in no position to disarm Hezbollah or impose.
I'll be right back. My
Resolution
phone's
1701.
ringing, but keep watching this chat. Oh, I know. I am urging today immediate and serious action to ensure the immediate withdrawal of Israel from all occupied Lebanese lands.
In Lebanon. We need this ceasefire now.
I don't believe there's going to be an all-out war. I think we can avoid it.
The severe blows against Hezbollah in all areas, in Beirut, in Bekaa Valley, and in South Lebanon will
Meanwhile, the international
continue.
community,
Fucking
with very few
psychotic
exceptions,
bastard.
has turned on Israel and decried its tactics, its Dahiya doctrine. Despite the political and military cover provided by its US ally, Israel has grown more and more isolated. You can see this in the overwhelming vote at the UN General Assembly last month, that its occupation of Palestinian territories is illegal and must end. But Israel's government remains defiant. It's rejected months of ceasefire proposals in both Gaza and now in Lebanon, and its generals believe that they can secure their borders through military might alone, and that by inflicting unimaginable and disproportionate horror on a civilian population in Lebanon, they can recreate their deterrence against any future threat. But the question is, if that didn't work in 2006, why would it work today?
Exactly. Very good documentary by the Middle East Eye. Very good, very good. So, as mentioned, like, you can see that it all started in the neighborhood called Dahiya in Lebanon, where Israel decided, okay, let's just kill anyone indiscriminately to apply pressure to this group that we consider a terrorist because they're willing to defend themselves and kill as many civilians as possible. That was the start of Israel's campaign of just killing anyone, whenever and whoever they want. And that's why Palestine is the way that it is today. So please remember the Dahiya doctrine, chat. I never even knew of that, by the way. Again, I was so fucking surprised. I'm like, are you fucking telling me that it started in Lebanon? What the fuck? Now, again, I feel like we didn't get enough like information on who and what Hezbollah is, right? So I want to look at this documentary. Why is it at already 8 minutes in? We haven't watched this. My bad, y'all. It's called What is Hezbollah and How is it Linked to the Israel-Gaza War? It's not a war, by the way, but that's what they're calling it. And it's by Al Jazeera. And this was from 2 years ago. I wonder when this video was made. This video by Middle East Eye was 1 year ago. Okay. So, yeah, let's watch this. Give me a sec, chat.
Let's talk about Hezbollah.
Let's learn what Hezbollah
It's
is.
the group that's back in the headlines.
There's been an intense exchange of rocket fire across the Israel-Lebanon border.
Hezbollah fires across the border every day.
Israel is targeting what it says are Hezbollah cells.
Some countries classify Hezbollah as a terror group, but it's also deeply embedded in Lebanese politics and society.
More powerful than the state.
Yeah.
More armed than the Lebanese army itself.
Hezbollah.
So, chat, what we just learned when I read this article to you guys, very good article, by the way. You can't even fucking see it because I'm zoomed in. But why Lebanon's army cannot defend the nation after a year of ceasefire. Again, the U.S. and Israel made it foreign policy to ensure that the Lebanese army cannot defend itself. The U.S. refuses to let Lebanon use its monetary aid to buy weapons that can actually defend themselves, and refuses to stop Israel from committing war crimes in Lebanon. Of course, Hezbollah is going to emerge eventually. Remember that, okay?
It's a militant movement that defines itself as a resistance and pushing back against US and Israeli policies.
It's also very close to Iran.
They take orders from Iran.
So how did Hezbollah come onto the scene? What exactly is its connection to Iran? And how powerful is the group today?
Oh yeah, and I wanted to say this here because, again, when Trump threatened Iran that they were going to drop a nuclear bomb, hours later there was a ceasefire, and hours later Israel dropped 100 bombs within 10 minutes in Lebanon, claiming that Lebanon was not part of the ceasefire. Why? Because Hezbollah was there, chat. Okay? This is why we're talking about Hezbollah and Lebanon. Okay? So you guys can understand that connection.
The name Hezbollah means Party of God. Now that might make it sound like it's a religious group, but it's actually a lot of things. It is a religious movement, and its members are mainly from the Shia branch of Islam. But not all Shia Muslims in Lebanon support Hezbollah. It's also a political party, with members in Lebanon's parliament and ministers in the cabinet. And it's an armed group. They say they've got 100,000 fighters, but it's hard to know for sure, and some experts suggest it's lower, likely between 20 and 50,000.
This is a secretive organization, even within, party members. Somebody working in a bank, a school, could be a Hezbollah fighter, and you don't know that. This is one of the strengths of Hezbollah. They tend not to show all their cards, if you like. This is a group that does not have known military bases.
Hassan Nasrallah is the Shia cleric who's led Hezbollah for more than 30 years. He's rarely seen in person. But in areas where support for Hezbollah is strong, like in the southern suburbs of the capital Beirut and in the south of Lebanon, his image is everywhere.
And you also see posters of Iranian leaders because the group does not hide its links with Iran.
All of Hezbollah's budget, expenses, wages, food, drinks, weapons, and rockets are all supplied by the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Some experts even characterize Hezbollah as essentially part of Iran's armed forces, a branch called the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC.
They are part of Iran's regional military structure. They have Lebanese IDs, but their loyalty and their job and their mission is to serve the interests of the IRGC's Quds Force. Full stop.
The Quds Force is the IRGC branch that's mostly focused on foreign operations. So how did Hezbollah come about? Well, there are three main factors that help explain its rise. The first is the Shia factor. Lebanon has always been very divided along religious and sectarian lines. Along with the Shia, the other main groups are Sunni Muslims and Christians. Lebanon's political system assigns them all key positions. It's designed so that they share power, but in practice, it tends to exacerbate divisions. And the Shia have often felt that they get the worst deal and are neglected by the government in Beirut.
The Shia community has long felt marginalized on the fringes of society.
In the 1970s, a political and armed movement fighting for Shia rights had cropped up. Other groups were vying for power too, including the PLO, a Palestinian group that had established itself in southern Lebanon. By 1975, they all turned on each other and a civil war broke out.
The Lebanese are fighting among themselves, Muslims against Christians and left against right.
The war lasted until 1990. And it was in the chaos of all the fighting that Hezbollah emerged. And this brings us to our second factor, Iran and the 1979 revolution.
I think though, chat, because like based on the, you know, the sources and this specific documentary, and based on just like history, like we've witnessed a lot of history already, that there's a group of people that has been marginalized for a while, abused by a system that bends to America or Israel's complete will. And that's what eventually leads to war. Okay. So I feel like they should clarify that, because that's usually how these things happen.
Iran's monarchy was overthrown and replaced by an Islamic republic, led by Shia cleric Ruhollah Khomeini. The revolution established Iran as the dominant Shia power in the region.
Khomeini saw himself and saw the revolution as something that goes beyond Iran. He saw this as more of a pan-Islamic revolution that goes even beyond the Shia community.
So Iran wanted to spread its ideology and influence, and everything going on in Lebanon provided an opportunity for that, especially after 1982, when Israel invaded Lebanon. And this is the third factor that explains Hezbollah's rise. Now, Israel said it was going after the PLO. Remember, that's the Palestinian group that was based in southern Lebanon, and it had been attacking Israel from there.
So the Palestinian group. So that even makes more sense, by the way, that who the bad guy is here. Again, Palestine has been colonized, overtaken. Israel controls every little aspect of occupied Palestine, and of course West Bank. Hello Zaya36, thank you for the check-in, and thank you for checking in 9 times. That's insane. Gracias. And of course, like, Palestine was fighting back the PLO. We'll eventually learn about that. But yeah, like, they're going all the way to Lebanon to kill a couple of Palestinians who not only try to, again, defend themselves, but also spread the message. Okay, they relied heavily on journalism spread around Lebanon and Iran to showcase the horrors that Israel constantly commits against the Palestinian people, and again, anyone they see as an enemy. Let me, I forgot to put myself on Do Not Disturb on Discord. My bad. So, again, I know this is supposed to be like a quick summary of things, but a lot of like context is missing here. I guess they're trying to be as neutral as possible. Sometimes Al Jazeera just does that shit. But I can understand why. It's just, this is why it's important for you guys to go out there and learn history and learn more context, just not take things at face value. Because when, you know, documentaries like these, small docs or other news sources start reporting on things without bias, which I feel is still biased by not giving more context, but trying to be neutral as possible, you miss out on a lot of things that literally explain the reasoning as to why this quote-unquote wars keep happening. But let's continue the video.
Tanks roll into southern Lebanon. The Israelis said they had one goal: to root out once and for all Palestinian bases across the border from their northern settlements.
Israeli forces reached all the way to Beirut. Later, they withdrew to southern Lebanon and occupied an area there right up until 2000.
The Israelis, they didn't just like kick the Palestinians out and leave. They came, they stayed, they occupied.
And here's where our three factors all converge in 1982. A group of Shia in Lebanon, who were already aligned with Iran's revolutionary ideology, had come together to fight the Israeli forces. Iran capitalized on that, providing training, funding, and weapons, and that group adopted a name, Hezbollah.
Iran invested in an organic reality. You had Lebanese Shias who suffered decades of marginalization from the Lebanese state, and also were suffering from Israeli occupation and were radicalized by the events of 1982. And hence comes a movement to build on all of that.
From the beginning, Hezbollah mainly defined itself as a resistance force against the Israeli occupation. In 1985, they stated that the obliteration of Israel from existence was one of their ultimate aims. They also said they wanted to kick out US and French troops who were in Lebanon as part of peacekeeping missions. Their tactics included assassinations, hostage-taking, suicide attacks, and some high-profile bombings, like one on the US Embassy in Beirut that killed 63 people. Wow. Then, in the early 1990s, there was a shift for Hezbollah. Lebanon's civil war had ended, and the group started to evolve from this shadowy militia into a major power broker. Hezbollah set up a political party. It won its first seats in parliament in 1992 and eventually became a leading voice for Lebanon's Shia community.
In comes this party, this powerful and strong party, who tells them that, we will protect you from the others, and we will ensure that you have a say in government, that you have a say in the decision-making process in this country.
Since 2005, Hezbollah has had cabinet ministers running various government departments. It's also been described as a state within a state, providing all sorts of social services in the areas they control, things like health, education, and youth programs.
They even give, these cards to some of their members to get groceries at a discount.
But the main thing that sets Hezbollah apart from other Lebanese political factions is that it has weapons, a lot of them. At the end of the civil war, Hezbollah kept its weapons. It said it needed them to fight Israel, and it did keep fighting. First, they were focused on pushing Israel out of southern Lebanon and got a lot of credit when Israel finally withdrew in 2000. Since then, fighting has repeatedly flared up, including a war in 2006, which lasted 34 days. A big part of Hezbollah's appeal in Lebanon is based on this perception that it is the most effective force to stand up to Israel. But having such a strong armed group separate from the government is also seen as problematic.
its opponents in Lebanon believe that those arms are being used for Hezbollah to advance its political interests in the country.
There are many who view it as a problematic player on the Lebanese scene. I would say a good half of the country would see it as such.
Another way of looking at it is that Hezbollah is both a cause and a symptom of even deeper problems in Lebanon, a country with a broken, sectarian political system that allows corruption to thrive and has kept the economy in the gutter. 80% of people now live in poverty.
Wow.
Every time you try to deal with the corrupt political elite, you are always hit by Hezbollah's arms that is protecting them. Take the Beirut port explosion.
It was a dark day in Lebanon's history. August 4, 2020. 2 years on, there's still been no accountability for one of the biggest non-nuclear blasts in history. Not one top official has been held to account.
Hezbollah is also accused of standing in the way of the investigation into the explosion at the Beirut port.
At one point, this even spilled over into deadly fighting on the streets of Beirut, when Hezbollah supporters protested against the lead judge investigating the explosion. But Hezbollah's activities and influence aren't just confined to Lebanon. It's the most powerful group in what's known as Iran's axis of resistance. This is a network of groups that Iran supports to spread its influence and interests in the region. It includes militias in Iraq and Syria, Hamas in Gaza, and the Houthis in Yemen.
But they're all part of the Iranian regional structure, military structure. This is how Iran works. Iran fights America and fights Israel via proxies and partners.
This helps to explain why Hezbollah took part in the Syrian war, for example. Syria's president, Bashar al-Assad, is an ally of Iran, and Hezbollah fought as part of an Iranian alliance to keep him in power. That move alienated some of Hezbollah's supporters who felt it wasn't the group's job to get involved. But the war also gave Hezbollah a reason to recruit, and its fighters got combat experience.
Hezbollah has also grown its special forces capabilities, given its role in the conflict in Syria.
So today, you're looking at a group that's really strong militarily. It has a lot of weapons, a grip on Lebanon, and Iran behind it. Right now, it's in the spotlight because of the war in Gaza, which has reignited the fight between Hezbollah and Israel. Hezbollah has fired rockets into Israel, killing soldiers and civilians. It says it won't stop until Israel ends its war on Gaza. And Israel's hit back, firing into Lebanon, killing civilians along with Hezbollah fighters and at least 2 senior commanders. Tens of thousands of people living on either side of the border have had to leave their homes. Many people are questioning whether this could all turn into a full-blown war and a wider regional conflict. It's always a possibility. But at the same time, Israel and Hezbollah both know that the other one has the capacity to do huge damage, and that might be encouraging them to hold back.
So both sides are still treading carefully. Hezbollah does not want a full-blown war, and it can hurt Israel. It can hit anywhere in Israel. It can fire thousands of rockets a day. But Israel can hit Hezbollah.
If you're interested in news and current affairs, check out the full playlist of Start Here episodes.
Well, I mean, that's what's so complicated about all of this chat. But at the end of the day, like, it's literally all of Israel's fault and the US's fault. It just makes me sad, though, that, like, these people have to suffer for it. Like, the civilians literally have to suffer for it. And it's not fair. It really isn't. But look at that. I'm gonna be ending the stream 30 minutes early. That's interesting. I'm actually ending it early. Give me a sec, however, because I kind of want to make a little announcement. Again, this TamaTalks was about learning more about Lebanon and Hezbollah. This video, try to do like a two-side thing. where it tried to blame both parties equally, and I'm just gonna say that Al Jazeera, that's not it, fam. Like, I get it though. I think it's fair to show like what the wrongs of what Hezbollah has done. That's perfectly fair and fine. But I feel like they should honestly, Israel has done way worse, and now like Israel is going insane. They're going crazy. So is the US. So let's just hope that all of this ends soon and it ends in the best way possible. No war is fair to normal people. No, yeah. But give me a sec because, like I said, I don't know if many of you guys have noticed, but I've been posting clips lately. I've been like depressed for over a year now. And over like Stoopy? Watch. Give me a sec. Over stupid VTuber shit, right? People just not being genuine. The thing is, chat, is that I managed on my most like recent clip to already get 1,000 views, bro. That is amazing to me because I've never had that happen that quickly. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? I've wasted all this fucking time like being depressed and shit, right? And crying over people and not being able to make friends or whatever the fuck, right? And I could have done that this entire time, you know, just focus more on me and be bigger than what I am. And I, you know, ever since I started actually working on my brand, and my brand is literally just being a political VTuber commentator, but not like those fake ass guys who are just only racist, or the VTubers who only talk about certain topics when it conveniences them, Chad. I want to be that one political VTuber that is actually looking at like verifiable sources and shit. But I also want to find like-minded people like me. I just don't think there's like literally real leftist VTubers who would fuck with me, and that's because they're just fake as fuck. And I'm saying this now because there was this like supposed VTuber who is like, I agreed with one of their statements before and we followed each other and shit. But then they started defending like the Hogwarts thing, and they were like, quote retweeted like a black VTuber basically saying, okay, pay attention to who's playing the Hogwarts shit. And I quoted the same black VTuber with my own opinions, basically saying like, hey, you can't be criticizing this person. Like, everyone has the right to unfollow someone if they invest in something that they disagree with, including me. And I gave myself as an example because I feel like it was very hypocritical for people to be like, oh, you pay for a blue check mark though. I'm like, yes, I do pay for a blue check mark, but you do realize that, yeah, of course I'm not like a huge person that gets a shit ton of viewers, but like what I strive for is to help people care about shit. So if one person follows me because of one of my random ass hit tweets and actually stays here and tries to learn on historical shit that affects us now, for me, I see that as a win. And so for me, I feel like if I'm able to do that and also convince people to fucking donate to charity, I think it's not justifiable, but I think that's good, and I'm willing to just own the L. You know, my money's going to, what's his name? Elon? Fine, or whatever the fuck. But fucking hell, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna hate anyone who hates me or doesn't support me over it, right? And I didn't quote retweet this other leftist supposed VTuber that I agreed with. They literally just, I can see who joins my chat and who doesn't join my chat, and I've been waiting to see if he unfollows me on Twitch and any of my other socials because of me defending this black VTuber. And I just saw them join for the first time today, and then they left. I look, I have one less viewer, and they're not there anymore. And I'm just like, these fuckers are so fake. I hate the VTubing community. He literally saw me literally reacting to the news and trying to humanize the Lebanese people. And what the fuck? Just because I decided to have a different opinion that involved me defending a black VTuber, bro unfollowed me? That is crazy! Chat! This is what I'm telling you. You cannot trust VTubers. Don't trust me either. That's fine. You can judge me. It's totally fine, chat. But this is why I'm telling you, even I can't trust VTubers I interact with. These people are fake as fuck. And I hope that you guys can at least somewhat agree that I'm not as fake. I'm not gonna say I'm not fake, but I hope you guys are careful at the content that you know, how do you say that word? The content that you guys consume and the people that you support. Just because someone says that they're pro something, pro Palestine or whatever, make sure that they actually prove that. Because the enemy is not only the right-wing VTubers, by the way. It's also these supposed left-leaning VTubers who are so performative, only talk about things when it's popular to do so. But if someone disagrees with them, that is also on their side, you know? By the way, supposedly, they're willing to just not support that person. This is all I want, is I want more support because I feel like I'm doing actual good work here. I'm trying to balance people wanting to care about politics in a healthy way with sources, and also having fun by being silly and playing games. That is literally impossible. It is... You will, I am sorry, but this is why I don't want to collab with people no more. Like, I just don't collab with people. Other than Zaya, he's the only fucking person I trust, but I can't believe how fucking fake these people are. I just screenshotted them also, like, joining my fucking chat and then leaving. So, and then doing my recent follower shit, so... I should have just screenshotted them when they followed me as well a long time ago, but that's so icky! It's annoying, Chad! Oh my god, I wanna fucking flip a table. Hello, Amy Hart, great stream. Thank you very much for joining and also saying that. I'm sorry for not reading that earlier. Oh, it was literally so bullshit. Buying Hogwarts Legacy is not an active decision that has ever made a positive difference. Buying the checkmark is literally helping spread your message. You can play any game for a good charity cause. That's also true. Another, like, one of the reasoning is like, oh my god, I fundraised for charities by buying Hogwarts. I'm like, okay, that's good. I mean, fine, but you can do the same with, like, other games. I think they're just using that as an excuse to play their favorite, like, wizard game, you know? It's fucking... I mean, I'm not gonna judge that. Like, donating to charity is great, but I feel like that's still somewhat performative. And I have the right to not support you over it. Anyone has the right to do that. And again, my goal isn't to be popular in whatever. My goal is to spread the message, and hopefully someone, even if someone doesn't return ever again, I hope they learn something, you know? That way, when they talk to someone they know about whatever's going on in the world, they at least have more knowledge on it. At least, you know? That's my goal. That's my fucking goal. But I just have to say that because it was just so icky seeing them in my chat and then knowing they were gonna unfollow me just right then and there. Look. Literally, look at my follows. We started this stream with 472 followers, right? I think I don't even know. I never know. I don't really care. Well, I do care. Obviously, it bothers me since I'm mentioning it, but I've given up of going over 500 followers. This is my like 6th time going under 500 followers, and it's all because I'm a political commentator who wants to care about brown people and black people and encourage people to donate to charity. That's why you unfollowed me, fucking bitch. Oh my god. Makes me angry, chat. You guys are witnesses. I'm not calling anyone out unless they make themselves known. It's gonna be fine. Anyway, yeah, letting go of the drama there. Let's see. Let me turn on my music here to line up the fucking mood. There we go. Let me show my fucking logo as well, so people know who the fuck I am and what the show is. It's called TamaTalks, where I speak on matters that matter to me and should matter to you, okay, y'all? Now I have a special announcement. Give me a second so I can download the thingy that I'm supposed to show you right now. Special announcement. Actually, let me edit the stream info so just for the announcement. Ending stream. Special. Small. Announcement. Is that how you spell announcement? I don't know, chat. My bad. Pastel. Okay. Did I download this? I did download it. Yes. Plus. Image. Okay, chat. So once again, maybe, I don't know if you guys are old. Some of you guys might be old viewers, but if you remember, I think it was last year. I don't think, it seems pretty recent to me, but it probably was last year. Last year, I was chosen as a, someone to showcase the LAGS showcasing event, the Latin American game showcasing event. It was really fun. I did a very long stream where I played like 5 to 8 games made by Latin American creators. And it was so fun, and we discovered many fun games. Now this year, there's going to be a new event this Saturday, not this year, I'm sorry, this week, this Saturday. Please mark your calendars because I am now an official co-streamer for the Latin American Games Showcase Edition, Gamescom Latam Edition, by the way. We are going to react to an announcement stream done by the Latin American Showcase. On May 1st, 2 p.m. Is that Brazil time? I'm pretty sure that's Brazil time. May 1st, Brazil time. For me, it's gonna be May 2nd at 2 a.m. from what I remember. We're gonna look at new games together and react to them. Basically, this is the Latin American version of the Nintendo showcasing streams. You know, when Nintendo starts releasing games and everyone reacts to that. We're gonna do that, but the Latin American version of that, and it's gonna be fucking fun, and I'm so excited. And I'm excited to like be interested in new games and buy them and then, you know, play them with y'all as well. Oh, it's 7 p.m. EU time as well. Yay! About half a year ago. Okay, so it wasn't a year ago. Let's fucking go. It was half a year ago. So, yeah. That's awesome. Thank you, Red Panda. Let's go. Thank you, Cynthia. Hooray. Thank you, Matrix. Yeah. It's gonna be super fun. I will not sleep. So this means that when me and Zaya36 play Tomoda... gracias por saying. Thank you, gracias. Thank you. That means that when me and Zaya36 play Tomodachi Life for a couple of hours, I will not go to sleep after. Fucking hell, I will keep streaming. I might start stream later. That way I can get extra sleep, chat. A ver,
Go to sleep, dumbass. You see the time already? It's past midnight. Go to sleep.
It's fine. Let's see. That means we'll play Tomodachi Life for 3 hours. Did we play Tomodachi Life for like 3 hours last time? I think we can do it. I don't think I need a break. I think we're good. After that, I'll start doing the co-streaming. The official co-streamer for Lax Chat. Let's go! I'll make an announcement probably tomorrow because I'm pretty sleepy right now. But please mark your calendars. That's May 1st at 2 p.m. I think that's BRT is Brazilian time, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure. Japan time, it is... I'm pretty sure it is 2 a.m. Japan time for me. Right? Where the fuck is it? 2 p.m. Fuck me. 2 a.m. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused, chat. It's 2 a.m. Saturday, Japan time for me. Oh my god, wait, chat, I'm just realizing, no. I'ma have to stay up on Friday, not fucking Saturday. I'm such a dumbass. So, after I play the horror game on Friday, oh my god, that was a close one. I was about to miss the stream. That's insane. I just chat, write that down right now. Remind me, chat, at me on Friday. Go on Discord and then at me on Friday, chat. Be like, Tama, it's on Friday. It's after the stream on Friday, not fucking Saturday with Zaya. Fucking dumbass. So after the No I'm Not Human stream, I will stay up and then wait for the stream by Lags, and then we're going to react to it together. So yeah. Reminder, at Tama on Friday. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm pretty sure a bunch of people can actually join because I feel like everyone in my community becomes super active after 3 a.m. my time. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see everyone there and actually be able to hang out with me. If only I didn't need to sleep, chat, I would stream the entire night. It's true. But yeah, that is my special mini announcement. So basically, yeah, in 2 days, chat. In 2 days, we're gonna have fun and react to new games, okay? I'll make an announcement later. Now, this has been TamaTalks, and I'll see you guys later, alligators. No stream tomorrow, but there will be a stream on Thursday. My second TamaTalks Thursday, we're most likely going to be talking about the Global Summit Flotilla mission. The new mission, chat. They're trying again, and they're gonna go try to break the siege that Israel did on Gaza, and they're gonna try to get medical aid to Palestine, okay? And I want to track that and keep you guys updated, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna log off now. See you later, alligators. Good night, everyone. Bye.
してるから今